passionate about music.
I am so honoured to have a fantastic guest here. I was going to say Melissa Totten, but it might not be Melissa Totten. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Otherwise known as Madonna, of course.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's great to meet you finally.
You too.
So many questions, because where do we begin? You have been, I'll say Madonna impersonator, but I don't think that, I think that gives you a bit of a disservice, because you
sort of.
You sing live, you dance, you have the most amazing shows. It's not just you look and sound like her.
I
You've got on the whole act.
I try. Sometimes, I mean, with most of the gigs I do these days, budget constraints are a problem. I can't haul a lot of dancers with me or anything, but I do have that in my arsenal of Madonna tricks. But
I checked out on YouTube some of your shows. I honestly, I know I saw it a couple of years ago. I think it was at Soho Pride.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
It was a double take moment, because I was like, oh my goodness me, and everybody says the same. They all say you just look and sound like Madonna. You're
fancy that.
100%. It's amazing.
That. I'm a bit larger, but that means you can see me better on stage.
But who isn't, though? Compared to Madonna, I think anyone is, aren't they? Her strict regime.
Yeah, definitely. She's a warrior.
Yeah.
I'm a couch warrior.
Well, I think you look fantastic. I kind of was going to say that I felt quite nervous at the thought of interviewing you, because if you think about Madonna's whole presence, it's quite overwhelming, isn't it?
Definitely.
But I'm not nervous at all.
Good, don't be.
You put me at ease straight away. Where did it start? Because you've been a fan, I think, for a long time, haven't you? Was it because you were a fan? Is that how it started?
Well, no, actually, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I have a degree in copywriting, commercials, writing ads and things, and I was getting my degree in Chicago, and people since high school had always teased me, and all the boys used to say, "Can I get into your groove?"
Yeah.
You know, it was the 80s. And all this kind of stuff. So people used to say I look like Madonna all the time, and I was challenged by by a professor for college credit to market myself as a Madonna impersonator. And so that was actually how I ended up my degree.
Wow, okay.
So it turns out there was an audition for an impersonator show that rolled through Chicago, and I thought this would be perfect for my research, for my project, because I really did want to write commercials. So I went on an audition, and they said, well, can you audition at this address? And it was the same address that I was calling from, because I lived in the same exact apartment building as the audition.
Wow.
So I thought, well, I've got to do this. So I really just got on the elevator. I went up on the top floor of the building. I came down with a 6-month contract for a cruise ship, and
Fantastic.
I had never performed before in my entire life.
Quite a nerve-wracking experience then.
It was
initially
the
quite daunting.
scariest thing I've ever done, really. It was so nerve-wracking. Now it's not. Sometimes it is.
I suppose in retrospect you can kind of thank yourself for having the balls to do it.
Exactly. If you don't sort of follow the signs sometimes. And I'm so happy I did, because I've ended up going, you know, I've been to over 30 countries doing this, and it's just absolutely mad to think, what the hell am I doing, you know? My parents are like, are you ever coming home? I'm like, no, I don't.
But you must love it. You must love the
I do. And plus,
travel
you know, I've just gotten better and better at it, and at performing and putting in the hours, and the live singing is not daunting to me at all anymore. Plus, then I learned the rest of what I know from Charlie Hides.
He's a genius, that guy. Really,
Charlie Hides.
he's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so, I love the fact that it's so tongue-in-cheek, because a lot of people kind of misread him, I think. They think that he's taking the mickey, but I think he's obviously a fan of his as well.
He's such a genius, and he's so clever and so simple. The stuff that he comes up with is genius. It really is.
We should get you both in the studio at the same time. That would be surreal.
We should definitely give him a call.
How difficult is it to nail some of the traits that Madonna has, and her mannerisms and her habits? Is it quite easy to do that? I'd imagine it quite difficult.
Some of it's habit, I think, and I've worked with a couple of her dancers that are good friends of mine. The ones from way back, the Blonde Ambition tour. Luis Camacho, I've worked with, and he's produced some shows I've done.
Because he loves you, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love
gave
Luis.
You
he
really
gave
big
me
compliment.
Props. Yeah, and also Oliver is a friend of mine. He was the only straight one on the tour, the little bleach blonde.
Yeah.
And they say there's something I do. There's something I do when I'm on stage that freaks them out, about something about my eyes or something. She's also very handy. You know what I mean? Her hands are like kind of claws. But she's gone through a lot of changes, and she's definitely not improvisational on stage anymore. You know, she's every single step.
And she's obviously crossed boundaries. How far would you go to mimic
get
her?
My nipple out.
Do a Mooney on stage.
I'm going to do mine simultaneously.
Yeah, you can like stick your fingers up at Madonna. I go one further.
Right.
That's brilliant. What is the weirdest thing you've done
Oh my God.
to kind of mimic Madonna?
You know what? I had to do a promo in Washington, D.C. one time for a group of pap smear slide examiners. What are they called? Cytotechs. And they made me change the words of Like a Prayer to Like a Smear.
Okay. And you did it.
Yeah, and I still remember it because it was so traumatizing. I actually booked a flight early, like right when we were finished with that gig. I thought, I can't even stay in this town anymore. I've got to go. It was just like a smear.
That's brilliant.
The cells are not that clear, just like a mess to me. You are a mystery, just like a smear. The cells are not that clear, just like a smear. The blood, the crud, the smears.
Did you have to write that out, or was it?
No,
it was given to
I
you.
did not write that. They gave that to me the day before. Like a smear.
The things you do
people.
for work,
Ooh.
eh?
It was after we signed the contract.
But you're telling the story now. It's memorable
Exactly.
for you. Now, I was looking at your YouTube videos earlier, and there was one comment in there which I thought was great. It says, Melissa is actually a better singer than Madonna.
Well,
That's a compliment and a half, isn't it?
It is a compliment and a half. And if you go back, because I've done these dance CDs and I'm doing this show that's we're doing songs from every single album. And if you really go back, she's so vocally diverse. I mean, if you turn on Celine Dion, you're always going to know it's Celine Dion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Madonna has stretched it, and she's got all these moods and everything. But I have to say, I have more experience singing her stuff live than she does.
I think vocally she's really improved as well. I think she's a great singer now.
Yeah, but she
can really
puts
tell
on a
she's-
show, and that's what she comes to do. And I think she does all her vocal work in the studio. And then, you know, people that have a job like me, I was in a big production show in Las Vegas for a long time, and we can't have backing vocal tracks. We're not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to learn how to do all that choreography and sing live, or else you're not there. So I think that was like boot camp for me.
Sure.
It was Las Vegas.
I love the fact also that you don't just stick to the hits. You do a lot of... You're
Yeah.
very creative, aren't you, with your shows? You do kind of the
I
jazzy
am. Yeah.
B-sides and album tracks.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm opening my show with Secret Garden from Erotica.
Wow.
Because I love the whole hydrangeas scandal.
Yeah.
I love
Hilarious.
hydrangeas.
I was actually thinking about presenting you with some, but no, better not.
But
Getting thrown in my face.
We're going the whole gamut. We're going from Secret Garden straight into Gambler from the Virgin Tour.
That's my favourite song of hers.
Gambler?
One of my favourite songs.
And that band, Once That Cowbell, you know.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
Woo! We're going to do Falling Free from the new album with
Amazing.
the
That's my
live
favourite
cello
track on
player.
MDNA.
Me too.
Love it.
We're doing... what aren't we doing? We're doing Love Don't Live Here Anymore that she's never done.
Wow,
live.
yeah.
We are doing Think of Me, Physical Attraction, the ones from way back in the day. I'm going to do a banjo rendition of Like a Virgin.
Amazing. Amazing. See, this is why Madonna fans need to come and see you, I think, because they're getting something that she wouldn't do.
Yeah, and
Especially
we have
with
the jazz
Love
section.
Don't Live Here. Yeah.
Hung Up and Give It to Me are jazz. Then we have acoustic stuff, La Isla Bonita with 4-part harmony. It's really, I mean, I wouldn't push it if I didn't think it was exceptional.
That's
Yeah,
very
like,
exciting. It's
I'm
very
excited.
exciting.
A
Yeah.
little nervous.
I think you are, well, it's obvious that you're a huge hit on the gay scene. Because obviously Madonna has a huge gay following
She
as
does.
well as you do.
She does, and I wouldn't have it any other way, truly. Do you have any idea how horrible it is to perform in front of straight people?
Really? Do you notice the difference?
Are you kidding me?
Because a lot of artists do say that, especially the whole atmosphere and environment of a gay club.
Absolutely, absolutely. Most of my big production shows I've been in, I'm the lettuce or the onion of the sandwich. The meat is Elvis, you know, and Michael Jackson, and then a Motown act or something. So I'm just kind of in there, and I'm just scanning the audience, going, "Where are my boys?" That, you know, and invariably I find people in the audience that know what I'm doing, you know, because she's got a huge gay following. I'm so lucky. And
that must be quite comforting for you as well to have that out in the crowd when you spot. You
Absolutely.
get that eye contact and
that's
connection.
Right. And in the U.S., it's not so much like that. Here in the U.K., I think the crowd's really up for it. But, you know, an American queen can turn on you pretty fast. If they don't like you, they will let you know.
Yeah. So you're living here in the UK now. You're living in London?
I am. I'm living in Crystal Palace.
Because I thought you were from the UK.
Right.
It's another reason why it's so surreal looking at you and talking to you here, because not only do you look like Madonna, and obviously you sing like Madonna, but you actually got the accent as well.
I've got the accent.
It's the whole shebang, isn't it?
Sometimes she goes in and out.
Yeah.
Like, I loathe hydrangeas. You obviously didn't know that.
And Charlie Hyde's version of that as well on video. It's just superb. You mentioned the show. It's at the Grand in Clapham.
Yes.
Clapham Junction, isn't it?
That's
Which is
right.
obviously at the train station.
That's right.
Very exciting for a lot of people. I know that Matthew, who is one of your dancers, will he be dancing?
He won't be dancing. We've done this. There are going to be more than 25 people on that stage that night. And they're all singers or musicians. It's really a musical concert. So we've concentrated on the music, and the stage is going to be just hogged up by all kinds of instruments.
I love it.
Also opening is the Boy George Experience.
Ah, he's great. Keith.
He's fantastic. He's going to do a 30-minute set, and his set is going to be acoustic. And accompanying him on guitar is John Themis, who was the original producer and guitarist for Culture Club.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think he's even got one of Boy George's singers on stage with him.
So something for the 80s fans as well.
Yeah, he's going to be a fantastic warmer-upper. And also, I just fixed this today. There's a promo code now. Whoever books tickets and mentions Gaydar, the tickets go from 18 to £10.
There you go, see?
Boom.
There's no excuse
not
to turn up.
Especially if you're not going to MDNA, or if you are going to MDNA.
That was going to be my next question. Will you be there? Well, obviously you'll be working.
Yeah,
presumably.
I'm doing a thing for Live Nation for the Ultimate Ticket experience, and so we're going to hop over to Hyde Park right after.
What do you think of the album, the new album, MDNA?
I think it's really pick and mixy, isn't it? I mean, it really is. I guess if I could have favorites, I really, really loved Erotica.
Yeah.
And I really loved Confessions.
Yeah.
And Ray of Light was pretty spectacular.
Ray of Light's my favourite. Yeah. And the first album, actually. The
Yeah.
Madonna.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Every time I listen to it now, it gives me goosebumps, because I think it's timeless in a way.
And it's raw.
Yeah, it is raw.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I like
That's
the fact that
right.
it's very stripped back and
Yeah.
kind of, it's real.
It really is real.
There's no fakery or...
No, and it's not overly produced and all of that. It's just really those beats.
Have you ever met Madonna? I know that was a
Have
question
you?
a lot of people have asked me to ask you. I've never met her. I would be just a mess.
Yeah.
I would be.
No, I do know people, though, that know her personally. I know people that have...
Ah.
I do.
Ooh, a bit of gossip on Gaydar tonight.
I do.
Dish the dirt, Melissa.
I have all kinds of stories. Bedtime stories.
Bedtime stories. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole Gaga-Madonna fight? Because I mean, obviously it's... you know, there's been that whole thing about the new tour, the MDNA tour, where she follows up Born This Way with She's Not Me. And,
yeah.
Which I thought was great.
I don't know if that's her personal... I don't know if she just did that for her fans, because her fans are so fiercely protective of her. But, you know, Gaga, to me, is really David Bowie and Freddie Mercury and Madonna and everybody else. You know, she's reductive.
Reductive. What's your favourite phase? You mentioned Erotica as being your favourite album. Was that the time that you think she's really excelled herself?
Do you know what? I know somebody that was very close with her back then, and she left a message on his machine. when she was finished recording Erotica in the studio, and she said very excitedly, "This is the best thing I've ever done." And from, Like a Virgin, or from Madonna, up to then, you could see,
It was a real change, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And critically acclaimed. Very critically acclaimed, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Won all the great reviews from the critics.
Yes, it did. And also very controversial, and
Yes.
then she had, the videos.
The
and
toe
things
sucking.
and
Yeah.
Right. Toe sucking.
It must be so time consuming as well to do the whole,
Yeah.
to do that job, to do your job.
Yeah, it's been a very rewarding journey. I've been very, very lucky. So, I hope to continue to be lucky. And all I really, really wanted, the only reason I'm still doing this after over 20 years is that I just really love to entertain people. And it's to be in front of a crowd that can appreciate. Madonna's not on tour all the time. You can't see her do her old stuff the way she did it, anymore.
Yeah.
That Madonna's gone. And she's about to she's about to hit London. So I just wanted to give kind of a treat and say, okay, well, let's all get geared up for this, because it could be her last.
But you're a class act as well, and people appreciate that, I think. That's why.
You're a class act as well. Phill Marriott.
Listen, it's
Double
been great.
R-double-T.
Double R-double-T. It's been great chatting to you. Fantastic to see you, Melissa.
You too.
Wish you all the best for the
Thank
show on
you.
Tuesday at the Grand.
Thank you very
And
much.
you must come back and see us again. Great to see you, Melissa. And we'll see you on Tuesday.
Passionate about music.